Dictionary.com describes an unplanned approach as impromptu, done without preparation, unpremeditated, done without intention, random, done without order, unintended, done without purpose, unwitting, done without awareness, or spontaneous, done without thought. Sounds about right. Well, now that we have that established, let's start the show.
Physics.
It's
a thing.
See, these smart guys.
Right.
See,
Yeah.
there's
We
two,
might have bitten off more than we can chew.
there's two sets of people that go to Purdue, by the way. There's the really, really smart guys, and then the guys like me, they're like, what are you here for? Communications? We don't have a communication department. Oh, you do? It's just over in that building.
There's only 3 people doing
It
it.
looks like an outhouse. It's over there.
Right.
But people don't know. They see Purdue. They don't know if I'd landed on the moon or if I was just running around sororities trying to figure it out.
Right.
Yeah.
I will tell you, so I've got a buddy, you're talking about, we were talking some ways, uphill, downhill, 6 miles. A guy that I played, a guy that I played for in college, one of his best friends, not the brightest guy in the world, but they had a discussion one time, they were talking about something, and it came up, they were looking at a map of the United States.
Okay.
And he said, man, could you imagine going from coast to coast here? And the guy looks at it and he goes, well, you know, if I did it, I'd start in Seattle. And my coach looks at his buddy and goes, why? He goes, well, because if you go from there to Miami, it's all downhill.
Oh my God.
He was, and at one point, if you don't know the guy, you scratch your head and go, you fucking with me? If you do know him, you're like, oh my God, this guy procreated twice.
Now, I hope he is actually listening to this right now and going,
Oh my God.
I'm stupid?
No, he won't be. I won't send it to him. He won't even. Hey, let's be honest. He won't even know who the fuck we're talking about.
Right.
He's like, there's got to be more than one person that said that. Nope, it's you.
Well,
it's you, genius.
God, what was the story that I heard somebody talking about? You could drive to Hawaii. It's just a long trip because, you know, when it shows the map and it's got Hawaii in that inset
Right.
down there, so it's attached.
And they
Didn't realize it was.
I think fucking Alaska's right next to it.
Right. Oh yeah.
Why is this one so sunny and this one's so desolate? I don't know, dumbass. This is on the Arctic. Jesus Christ. Well, I can't make fun of a lot of people because I've said and done some stupid shit.
Oh, you've got, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's hard for me to say, like, you're probably smarter than 90% of the people you talk to. I can just tell by me. I have to really pick my crowds. If I'm going to be the smartest guy, it's usually if I'm substituting third grade. Right. Like, hey, guys. But, I mean, I really need to watch who I make fun of because I would guess most people would say, dude, you're not winning any Nobel Prizes over there, my man.
Well, that's we talked about that the other day when we were talking about that the dumb things that we thought of and didn't know. And when I was in elementary school, as we're getting a little older, and the kids all start talking about sex, and one of the kids is yelling at another. One boy yelling at another, making fun of him, and he's like, "You're so stupid. You probably think when you put your wiener in him, you pee." And I was like, "What else comes out of that thing?"
Oh my God.
That's when Kyle was first institutionalized.
Right. And I was 17.
We thought he was gifted. No, he's not gifted.
I mean,
This happened last week.
Yeah, I was a junior in high school.
When Kyle got married, he's like, his wife's like, I don't think that's the way we try to have kids.
What?
Why do I have to sit in the shower?
Right. I thought, when's the stork get here?
Oh, God. Jeez. I always knew about all that. Now, we talked about what my deal was.
Yeah, I won't say sheltered, but I mean, obviously, to a degree.
Where are you from?
You don't know. Where am I from?
Yeah.
Indy.
Which part of town?
South.
Oh, so you're down by...
Us.
Pretty much Greenwood.
Oh, yeah? Where'd you go to high school?
Perry Meridian.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
What year did you graduate? So you're 51.
92.
92. So you know Chuck Rail and all those guys.
I remember the name, yeah.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
a
we
bunch
didn't
of...
like him, but we know him.
Oh, Chuck. Love Chuck. No, I know a lot of guys that you know because I went to St. Barnabas.
All right.
My mom taught at Barnabas for 45 years, and I mean, there's a lot of in between there. I mean, there was a group of us Catholic kids that was invited to the public school kids, like 13th birthday parties and shit. There's a group of us. We always felt so cool. We're like, yeah, man, we're going over to the Perry Branding party. And everybody thinks we were sheltered. They weren't. Man, we grew up in the same economic class. I mean, it's basically the same shit, except we probably didn't see as much as they did. But we always thought, man, we're going to their party. This would be amazing. We're going to see all the same shit. Guys are standing on that side of the room. Girls are standing on this side of the room. Nobody's talking.
Right.
And we didn't have cell phones. So it really looked like a shitty party.
Jeez.
I mean, can we eat? Yeah, I guess. Dude, you're going to go talk to her? I think that's what we're supposed to do.
And I was just south of you guys, Greenwood.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's funny. You still live down there? Still live that way?
Yeah.
So I had a boss one time, and this is so funny, living on the south side and growing up on the south side. He lived in Zionsville. And he said, so where do you live? And I said, I live down in Greenwood. And he goes, oh, I said the south side. And he goes, the south side? And I said, yeah, man, you wouldn't believe it. We just got running water, toilets, and electricity. He goes, what do you mean by that? I said, why would you say something that fucking stupid? I said, what do you think it is down there, man? I said, just so you know, there's as much money down there as there is up here. We just don't spend it like you dumbasses. Living in $800,000 houses with a mattress on the floor so that you can keep up with the Joneses, man. Seriously? Drive me crazy. What's your girlfriend texting you?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
You just said that and your wife's listening.
You're right. Well, she's happy.
Don't give her name. Don't give her name.
She's happy anybody's willing to take that bullet.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. Go get them.
Oh, shit. So you went to Perry, then, we know a lot of the same people that I bet.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Probably ran around. Yeah.
I mean, I was the dork kid. I didn't really go to parties and shit. I was just like, I just was never into it.
Well, I'll tell you something. What's changed from then to now. So one of my neighbors is a real good friend of mine. His son is Asperger's.
Yeah.
He's got Asperger's. So great kid, just really, really sheltered. Always was in his room and shit. And so he started taking CBD, like not the shit now that has the THC in it, but it's the CBD stuff. And all of a sudden, this kid starts coming out of his shell. I mean, he's a great kid. He's at Purdue now. He lifts. I mean, he is. It's really cool to watch. But his senior year, he's at Perry, and it's homecoming. And you call yourself a nerd or whatever, not
nerd or whatever.
Well, but he's big into like the Templar and all that stuff. I mean, all that crusade stuff. So he comes downstairs and he's got a full Templar outfit. Like he's got the helmet, the chains. This shit's heavy.
Yeah.
And he says to his dad, Dad, I think I'm going to go to homecoming. And his dad's like, okay. And he goes, and I want to wear this. And he's wearing this shit. And his dad's like, oh, okay.
All right.
Okay. But he's thinking, this kid's going to get his fucking ass kicked.
Right.
So he goes,
Yeah.
he drops him off, and he comes back, and we were all hanging out at my house because they're neighbors. And he's like, man, I'm waiting for any minute for him to call me. It was like a half an hour after he dropped him off. It's 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. Kid finally calls him and says, Dad, can you come and get me? The dance is over. And he's like, okay. And he doesn't know what to. Kid gets in the car, and this is such a cool story. I was so impressed by this. Kid gets in the car, and he says, that was the greatest night of my life. And this is no joke. His dad says, what? And he goes, everybody wanted to take pictures with me. Yeah. He ended up on the front of the school newspaper because my heart was warmed by the fact that God knows 25, 30 years ago what that would have looked like.
Oh, that kid would end up in the trash can.
Oh, my gosh. Like,
Absolutely.
Jesus,
Absolutely.
Dude. I mean, give the cred. I mean, I was like, hell, man, he's got the balls to do it. Great. And the fact that it turned out that cool and everybody thought it was that cool. I mean,
that is one thing I've seen, like kids in the last, I don't know, decade, whatever it is, but they're a lot more into letting people geek out about whatever they want to geek out about. Like it's been something that I've seen. And sure, there's still there's a couple popular kids and the whatever you want to call them. But I forget what it was. There's something similar to that, but they were just like, we're just going to dress up and do our own thing, and it turned out to be an amazing thing for them.
And I'm the type of person that I see that, if I know him a little, I want to know what's going on, and that's probably what he got.
Right.
I mean, are you here to? Did you bring a sword? Because if you got a sword, we're not doing it, bro. But
I've got some in my locker over here.
I've got one in my garage.
I got one in my pants.
Alrighty then.
Keep lobbing them up there,
showing you.
I tried showing you. But I just thought it was really neat. I mean, and now to see him come out of his shell and he's dating and shit now, that's awesome. But that's where it started. His dad was like fucking sweating.
Oh, man.
He's sitting there the whole time like, I'm waiting for him to call me. I'm waiting for him. I'm like, oh, man, hey, maybe he's already been beat up and he's over, they're over that. But when he came home, he was glowing. It's like, man. And I said, you wore that shit the whole night. Like, it's heavy.
Yeah.
I mean, he has the fucking full chain.
Right.
I mean, if we tried to stab him, that's probably why nobody kicked his ass.
Right.
They couldn't get past all that. If he'd have come in on a horse, that would have been the end of it. That would have been the end.
That's next year.
Next year.
Right.
How can you top this? Well, I'm going to bring in a winch with me, and I'm going to have a horse. But,
Hell yes.
I mean, God. I would never, ever, ever have had the balls to do that, to go outside the box like that.
No. Yeah, now when you're doing that, you're going to Gen Con.
Yeah.
I mean, that's cool that
I
there's
may
something
or
like
may
that.
not
I
dress
mean,
up for that.
what did you dress up as?
Nothing, just kind of dressed up.
Did you go? Have you been?
I
would too. I would love to go. I don't like to ask people like, hey man, how do I get tickets for that? If somebody presented it to me, I don't know.
Go to the website and get tickets.
I've seen them. I've seen Star Troopers. It's always fun when that and FFA, Future Farmers of America, you go downtown and they're in their blue jackets. Like, oh, it's Farmer Day. And then you go Gen Con, like, there goes Chewbacca. And there's the Stormtrooper. They're not supposed to be together.
Oh, right.
It's about where I leave it. I don't know anything more than that.
Yeah, no, God, I went 12 or 13 years in a row.
Oh, nice.
The last couple I haven't gone, but I'm.
So what is that? So, okay.
It's a
here,
nerd convention. What do you
dude, are the chicks easy?
Full
I mean,
on.
seriously, I remember is it anything like band and choir type thing where I was in the choir and I was in musicals and shit in high school, and my eyes were open to how much different and open that community is, like the acting community, where they're doing dress, they're changing outfits and shit on the side, and I think we were 16 doing a play down here, and it was a young adults version, and I couldn't believe how open, coming from where I came from, how open they were about talking about sex and all this other shit, all the different stuff that I've never seen. And I thought, wow. And then I got into show choir and some different things. I'm like, American Pie is not too far off when it says band camp shit. I mean, we went to choral camp and it was mildly, I just wonder, are Gen Con chicks like that? Is it any different?
No, I wouldn't necessarily call it like that. I mean, if I were single, I wouldn't go to Gen Con to try to pick up a girlfriend or anything. I'll put it that way. Like, they're usually there focused on doing their dressing up, doing their thing, and for it to turn into a big dating fest isn't really the.
Well, what about like the bar scene? If you've got a 3-day Gen Con, people come into town, they're going out.
Sure.
I mean, are they dressed up going out and shit?
Oh yeah.
You can't take that shit on and off. I mean,
Not that easily, no.
Some of that stuff is work.
I think that'd be fun as shit to walk
It is
around in
fun
a bar.
as shoot.
You're like, what are you? I'm Chewbacca. That doesn't sound like Chewbacca.
Due to the Force, I will.
Anytime somebody talks about Chewbacca, have you seen that little blurb about the guy that broke up with the woman?
Yes.
And
Yes.
So a guy breaks up with a woman. They're dating. And he puts on the telephone poles around town that there's a Chewbacca sound-alike contest and win $100. Call her number.
Oh God.
And just leave a and she was getting it 24 hours a day.
Like in the middle of the night,
Yeah,
2
yeah.
o'clock in the morning. He said, wasn't he like giving her $100 bucks? He's like,
Yeah.
you could win $100 or something.
Give me my $100.
She's on TV, right? They interviewed her. She's on TV.
so
She's
damn
going,
funny.
I just don't know why he'd be so immature about this.
And
I'm
every
like,
guy in the world is laughing his ass off.
everybody's like, what did I think of that? God damn.
Yeah,
He
I
said
would
he
do that to
loved
my
me.
friends.
He said he loved me. Oh shit. That's funny. I love Halloween. I love Halloween, so I'd probably love Gen Con. I love that kind of shit. Huh?
If you like games, board games.
I like just different. I mean, first time I was in San Francisco, because California is like a different world compared to here. It was almost stimulant. I'm like, holy shit, man. I remember because San Francisco, there's so many different ethnicities and everything. I remember being on the wharf with my brother. He lived out there. And I'm like, at one point I said, does anybody speak English out here? Because it's not just, the 3 or 4 different ethnic people that we have around here, whether it's Latino or whatever. It's everywhere. I mean, different languages. And I'm like, that doesn't sound like Spanish. That doesn't sound like English. What is? I mean, it was really cool. So to get in other people's element where they're really passionate about stuff like that, I think it's cool. I love asking questions. That's probably my biggest. Is I would wear you out if we went to somebody and be like, Dave, what's that? Dave, you're like, God, how old are you? What are you, 6?
Right.
Kind of.
You've not seen any of this shit before.
Yeah. That's the Phantom Menace. You've seen it. I know, but.
Right.
So what do you dress up as? What's your go-to?
Well, right now I actually made my own Star Wars character, but
let's go.
I haven't been to Gen Con. All right.
What's he do? What she? I don't even. What is?
So my whole thing is, like how much Star Wars lore do you know?
I'm pretty.
So the Order 66, right? That's when Palpatine took over, or basically ordered all the stormtroopers and everybody else to start killing off the Jedi.
Okay.
That was what Order 66 was. So to me, that leaves the Star Wars universe full of random lightsabers laying around, all this legacy of what were the Jedi being erased. What's the underground like? The kids that find these lightsabers as they're exploring, because God knows if I was a kid in that world, like, man, there was a big Jedi fight here a couple of years ago. I'd be looking all over.
Get our metal detectors out.
Yeah, right? So my character that I built is kind of based on that theme, but like his parents were involved in that and were, killed off one way or the other.
So they were Jedi.
Yeah. So, he's got some anger issues around that, but at the same time, he's got this force sensitive side to him, but he doesn't want to be involved in any of that. Like, he's just grown up with this anger kind of thing. He's got force powers. So his whole stance is the Jedi were fucked up in the head because they let all this happen and didn't see it. The Sith suck because, well, they just suck. And so he's like, I just want to do what is right for me. But he's got this kind of force power thing. So, like, I use orange lightsabers just because to the lore on that side, it's kind of dark side-ish, but not completely. So in that way, I guess he'd be more aligned with, like, what people call the gray Jedi. But just this character that's out there trying to find his own way, and he's kind of a badass force user with lightsabers that he kind of built based off of what he was able to find.
But he's unaffiliated, kind of.
He's not really affiliated, and I've thought of things like if Yoda came and found him at some point, what he would say, and it'd be just like, you know what, Jedi, they screwed everything up by not seeing what was going on with Palpatine and those guys, and I don't want anything to do with that.
So you've got it. So have you written any of this down? Do you have a storyline that if you wanted to write?
Not really.
Or something like
I mean,
that?
I've made some little notes here and there and different things that I've thought about over the years, but I actually made an image that is one of my banner images. It's not out there, but it's something that I've posted on my it's like on my Facebook profiles and stuff.
It is very cool.
Is it? Yeah. I bet it is. What's his name?
Dave.
Dave?
No.
Hi, I'm Dave.
Oh fuck. It's Dave.
You will let me pass. Dave.
Everybody watch out for
Give
Dave.
me that pizza.
No.
Dave. You really don't have the power, Dave.
I do have a Jedi name for him, but it's Kataru Kite.
What's it mean?
Doesn't mean anything.
How'd you come up with that then? I mean, that's
a funny story too. There you go.
I wish my wife. Can we dub that for my wife when she snores? Instead of snoring, I get that. I feel like I'm at least in. Oh boy. In the galaxy somewhere.
Right.
So you were going to tell us how you came up with the name?
Kataru Kite. It's based on a meme.
Okay.
The shit people post on Facebook, Instagram,
right.
whatever. There was a thing. It says, These letters of your name make your Japanese name,
Interesting.
and so it's David.
Right.
So it is. Oh shit! Oh shit!
D was K-E, so it just literally, you take your name, is D is K-E, A was T-A,
Okay.
V was R-U, so that's Kitaru,
So
and then Kite,
what's Kite?
the ID.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I am familiar with Star Wars. There are people that know, and I've always wanted to talk to somebody that's really into it.
Yeah.
So I guess I have to ask.
I mean, there's bigger ultra nerds than me, but yeah, I've watched most everything and love just about
it's
all of
gone in so many different directions that I can't even follow it. I mean, I think the last thing I saw was the one where Harrison Ford's character,
it. Oh,
what's his name?
Huh? Han Solo.
It's Star Wars.
thank you, Han Solo.
Han Solo. Yeah, Solo. I saw the last one I saw was Solo, and then I don't know who Kylo Ren is. I don't know who any of those people are because after the next three came out, they kind of lost me. They went in all kinds of different directions.
Right. Those are what people call the sequel trilogies, and there's a lot of hate around those because really they took the story completely different than what the books and the graphic novels and all those really followed. Like I forget the details because I haven't read a lot of that content, but like in the legends and the books around it, like Han Solo and Leia had 3 kids or something like that, and they did Kylo Ren was not a character.
Right.
So there's a lot of, people that hate that. I enjoy the stories regardless of any of that. Yes, I understand some of that and kind of relate to it to an extent, but anytime there's something that comes out that's Star Wars, I just love everything about the universe and the history and the background and the different possibilities around the idea of the Force and the Jedi and the Sith and all that kind of stuff. It just fascinates me. So as bad as some of that storyline is and how it breaks down and doesn't follow what some of the actual, storylines that were in the material already, I still enjoyed it.
Right.
But
So
yeah,
I
there's
love The
a lot.
Mandalorian. There is a lot. I mean, if you don't follow along with it,
Yeah.
you can't just come into it and be like, oh, okay.
Right.
I mean, back in the day, you had the AT-ATs and the Millennium Falcon, and you were like, oh, this is cool, No, I don't even. I mean, I love The Mandalorian. I mean, I haven't finished watching it. I paused after one of the seasons, and I didn't get back into it like I should have. But I thought that was brilliant.
Yep.
What was your thoughts on the prequels?
The prequels.
Like you had you had 4, 5, and 6,
Yeah.
and then 1, 2, and 3. What'd you think of them?
I enjoyed those too, but again, it's like and depending on, you watch some of the behind the scenes things and the way they filmed those versus how they filmed the originals and some of the stuff afterwards, right? The actors were thrown into like a green room. You talked about green screen
Right.
with my photography, right? They were literally sitting on a bench that was painted green, and they were supposed to be talking to a character, but all they had was this little sign, like a green pepper on a stick, right? That's who you're talking to. So for the actors to really get into character and have that, I can't imagine
Trying to do that.
Like that would have been really hard to do. So yes, to me, some of the acting and the way some of the characters, it's like just they're really kind of awkward feeling through those movies, and a lot of it, I believe, is because of the way it was filmed like that. And some of the actors has even said as much, like Hayden Christensen, or I don't know how fucked up his name, whatever.
Yeah.
Something like
right.
that.
Close enough.
So he's like, yeah, it was really difficult to get into character and make it a believable performance because of you're just in this green room.
Because of the authenticity of the first 3 that they came with Empire and all that, they should have filmed those. They should have limited the effects. Like when they released the original 3, and they said, "No, you've got these new."
I don't like that.
And I'm like,
I'm not
why?
a fan of the special effects.
Why? You didn't need to add any of that. That was a money grab to me.
Yeah.
and to introduce a new generation to Star Wars.
Yeah.
Basically, that's what that was. But I will say something about the first one with the little kid, little Anakin, and Natalie Portman. I was just in the bathroom thinking about this. I've been a Natalie Portman
That's why
person.
you were gone so long.
Oh my god.
Well, now
I was that. That was. I probably should have checked that before I said that. But I was thinking about it because the age difference between Natalie Portman and that kid, and to believe that down the road that I'm just kind of like, man. I love Natalie Portman. I've had a crush on her since she was in The Professional back in the day when she was the killer. But that was a little.
That was weird.
That was odd for me. I'm like, she looks like she's 16. He's 8. Yeah. You're gonna fall. That's a lot of ground to make up to where it seems normal at 36 and maybe whatever 8 minus 36 is 28. So. Yeah, right. You have to really be focused on like, wow, that's crazy shit. But what'd you think of Jar Jar? That kid, Natalie Portman. Hey, I would have been like, yeah, man, Natalie Portman, I'm in. But everybody everybody thinks that was based on some kind of goofy stuff.
I think again, I might be wrong, but I remember watching something where George Lucas was basically, Jar Jar was meant to be the comedy relief for the kids, basically, and that's all well and good, but he still sucked.
And I didn't know what he brought to the table. Have you ever seen The Family Guy, Star Wars?
Oh gosh, not really.
Oh my God, you need to watch it. It's hilarious, man. It is.
I will say though, because of Jar Jar, I did, and I really, they released a new Lego set that's the Dark Millennium Falcon.
Oh,
so
really?
They switched all the characters around, and Jar Jar is a Sith. So the Lego character is Jar Jar as a dark side.
Well, I think that's what he was supposed to be.
Yeah.
There's a theory out there.
Oh, yeah.
When they go in depth, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah. So I was like, I have to have that set.
So,
I've got it.
Something out of the ordinary. Like I said, I love it.
And Darth Vader's white, so he's a Jedi.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Is there any? You think there's any of this stuff?
It's like one of those what if things,
right?
Just what if it was all switched
backwards.
That is so. The Ewoks.
Oh gosh,
I'm trying to figure out what the thought on. Like, I love them. Especially when I was a kid watching it. Everybody thought they were cool, right? Were those actual little people or were those animatronics?
Yeah, one of them. One of them was what's his name? The guy.
Willow. Warwick Dunn?
Yeah, something.
Warwick Dunn. He was a tailback from
Davis.
Warwick Dunn played for Florida State, dude.
Remember all these names?
And he was a tailback for the Buccaneers. I don't think he was.
He might. Well,
he was an Ewok.
He was what, 5'2"?
I always thought the lady with the
lady
with the horns, the lady with the big horns coming out of her deal.
Yeah.
Do you know who that is? She's in the. I think she's in the cantina scene.
Yeah, in the cantina.
The horns or the leak?
With Jabba.
So not horns.
Oh, Jabba. No, she's next to. Yeah, she works with Jabba. Jabba the Hutt. Yeah.
Java.
Strange brew.
Copy the Hutt.
But I always thought she was hot. And I'm like, hey, man. And then if I was at Gen Con and saw one of those chicks walking around.
There are people.
I forget her name. I did know it at one point. So I knew most of the band's name at one point, but I can't remember now.
One of the things in Family Guy that is so funny is, they're playing that dun 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 dun.
Right. The cantina music.
Yeah, the cantina music. At one point during the Family Guy, they got puppets. They got a puppet up there that's with the background, and it's the only live thing in it. Everything else is a cartoon, and there's a puppet, and he's the lead singer. And somebody goes, "Do we have anybody got requests?" And this puppet goes, "Play the same song again." After they finish the canteen, and it goes dun, 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 so they just keep playing it over and over again. And I thought, man, I'm one of those guys that I would like to sit in a writer's room and just throw shit out to see what people's reaction is. Like, what if we said this? And I'm like, that's pretty funny.
Well, that's what the whole, not the Family Guy, but the Robot Chicken, Star Wars stuff.
Yeah.
Those
that's a
guys
good one, too.
They just got baked. Well, they did 3 of them.
That's
they just got baked and just threw shit in them. It was so.
I think one of the greatest lines, and the way that I explain what my sense of humor is with that kind of shit is if you've seen Anchorman, right? Anchorman when they're doing the panther piss, and everybody's like, God, that smells like dog poop with hair burning. And at the end of it, you hear somebody from off screen yell, "That smells like Sasquatch's dick." And I fell out of my fucking chair, man. I was rolling because I thought, who was in the room when somebody goes, that's what I would have been. And I called my wife out. My wife and I do not like the same kind of movies. I am Airplane, Naked Gun, all that kind of shit. I think Dumb and Dumber is the greatest fucking movie ever made. It's funnier than shit. So I said, honey, she goes, what are you laughing about? I said, you got to listen to this. And I rewind it, and I am in anticipation, just busting at the seams for it. That smells like Sasquatch. He says it, and I start dying. She goes, what? And I said, what do you mean? That's hilarious. And she goes, that's stupid. And I said, get out. You just ruined the whole movie for me, man.
Now you say that you're talking about Dumb and Dumber being the funniest movie of all time. A kid referenced this yesterday to me. I had the big gulp drink, and he walked in. He was under 30,
right.
And he walked in. He goes, big gulp, huh? Okay, see you later.
And you got it.
Right. And I started laughing. He goes, you got that? And I said, of course I got that. That's my wheelhouse.
Some don't, man.
Well, no, because it's so obscure.
I don't know that I would have. It's been a while since I've watched.
And it's when Jim Carrey was walking out of the 7-Eleven.
Yeah. It's like.
But did you know that was completely improv? Those guys were not actors.
Oh, he walks out and he
just Jim Carrey just doing what Jim Carrey does.
Makes it even better.
All right, see you later.
Well,
it's like are looking at him like, what the hell are you talking about?
Well, it's like Animal House when Pinto or the big guy Flounder walks up and they're playing cards, and he goes, "What are you guys doing?" And they're sitting there. And he goes, "Playing cards," and they all just go. They just look at him. He goes, "All right, see you later," and he walks away. Dude, that is so. That would be me at Gen Con. Hey, right. What are you wearing? And everybody else says, "Dude, it's Boba Fett, dumbass." I'm like, "Oh, you Boba Fett?" No,
right. See you later.
Okay, see you later.
Oh, you made it to the end. If you liked it, please rate and review it, and don't forget to tell your friends. And just imagine how good this thing would have been if we had an intentional approach. And if you didn't like it and you feel like you could do it better, well, smartass, reach out. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, and we have an email. It's unplannedapproach@gmail.com. Look forward to hearing from you. Bye.